we 可以砸它。Back in 1666, Newton used a prism to split white light into its spectrum. Oh, today I've brought my own prism too. I just love that. Wide-eyed, never seen anything like this before. Look on your faces. Let's take a look. What happens when we shine this beam of white light through the prism? This prism splits white light, so it clearly proves that white light isn't nighting. That is simple. In fact, it's made up of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Among these 7 colors, 3 hold a special status. They're not just ordinary colors. So it's flowing. That is right. Red, green, blue. Red, green, blue. Blue. Thus, green, blue. There's 3 colors go by another name. 2, you got it. The primary colors. And they're called primary colors mainly because these 3 can be combined to create a whole bunch of other colors. Pretty cool, right? So they're called the primary colors. But hey, have any of you actually seen them mixed to create other colors in real life? There's this saying, practice makes perfect. Well, actually, it's practice reveals true knowledge. And here's a flashlight that can emit red, green, and blue light, 3 primary colors. All right, so we can see right between red and green, what color is that? So for yellow, we're starting with all 3 primary colors. Red, green, and blue at equal brightness. But what if I want a different color? Well, I can tweak the brightness of 5 individual colors like turning up green and red while dialing back blue to mix and match. 20 hue I want. Let's combine them first. All right, let's dial up a nice pink. Pink's awesome, right? And hey, real tough, guys love pink too. You know, it's called 猛男粉, macho man pink. Yeah, even the strongest dudes go for pink. Let's make it pop. All right, let's make some pink. How do we mix that? This is a dimming filter. It darkens the light. I'll reduce the green to darken it. Wait, is it a notebook? Exactly, because the primary colors can combine to create all sorts of other colors. That's why we have screens on devices like phones, smartwatches, and even this all-in-one computer behind me. But how do these screens actually produce the images we see? Has anyone in class ever seen what's inside the display? All right, then let's dive in today. Let's go ahead and take this all-in-one unit apart. So, how do we break it down? We're civilized people. How can you smash it? What's so funny? Of course, a physics teacher carries a hammer. Totally normal. Makes perfect sense, right? So today, let's dive in. How about we take it apart? All right, hold on a sec. After we smash this all in one, the student who shouts the loudest gets to pay for it. All right, let's get started. Of course not, come on. What are you even talking about? A single all-in-one PC costs several $1,000s. We thought we could just smash it. No way. We can't smash it, got it? We can smash it. All right, here we go. How's it going? So if we're gonna take it apart, let's go ahead and close this up first. Don't want to scare the all-in-one. Their structures are pretty much the same, especially for conventional LCDs. So let's take one apart and have a look to save time. I've already loosened some screws. And here we go. Oh, a window. Let's turn it on. This is a piece of black glass. There's also a sheet inside. Wow, it really is just a single sheet of paper, honestly. Just one piece of paper. And that's it. Just power it up. Power it up. Let's see if it's still alive. Some students are like, wait it. It's been split apart like this, and it's the star that's still alive. Yeah, let's give it a try. Oh, right. Let's take a look at the handsome guy. Hey, the display says it's working normally, right? So let's take a look as it's showing content. Do any of those earlier parts change or behave differently? For example, let's start with pick up this piece of glass. Wow. Is there something there? So it is basically gone. Now let's take a look at what is inside here. So turns out the innermost layer is just a white light backlight, and when that white light passes through the glass, it forms an image. Well, TVs are simple. Anyone could build one, right? All right. Next up, let me shine this flashlight on it and see if it produces an image. Got any visuals? So hey, my flashlights can actually project an image. Now, so where exactly is the divine presence coming from? Hey, every answer right here on this piece of glass. This piece of glass can't be taken apart anymore. It's now a single integrated unit. So what's actually inside it? What's the secret structure that lets it display so many images? Wait, hold on. It doesn't tag us on the 3 primary colors. So how does it even create an image? Isn't RGBY essential for imaging? Is there actually a way around that? Use this. This one's called a green filter. So for example, if I want this beam of light to turn blue, put up the blue one. We can see that with just this simple green filter, we can actually isolate one of the primary colors, green. All right, you already know one of its structural features. Inside, there are lots of tiny green filters. Well, actually polarizing filters that let us isolate the 3 primary colors. But to synthesize all the other colors, just the primary colors aren't enough. What else do we need? Exactly brightness control. So let's demo how that works. Wow. Here are 2 pieces of glass. Can you see them? Right now, they're transparent. But watch what happens when I rotate one relative to the other. We can see what is on it, right? It's black, right? Can you see through it? Nope, it's a pig. But if I rotate it 90 degrees, suddenly it will be a side transparent. These 2 pieces of glass are called polarizing filters. And they can do some pretty cool things. It can adjust its brightness. So this screen is actually the result of several components working together. Well then, does that mean LCDs are already pretty much perfect? Does it really have no flaws at all? There's definitely one, I just didn't pick it. Let me show you actually. Let's do 双图 demos. Alright, so here we've got white light and over here, red light. That white light is basically the same kind of light you see coming out of a television screen. That old lamp in the television now. I'm using red. Let's put the green filter into this beam of white light. So if I block it like this, and then like this, which one looks redder? So the red light it emits is actually purer, right? Everyone pay attention. That red filter only lets red light pass through and absorbs all the other colors. That's why the backlight has to be so bright, got it. So what's the downside? Yep, it's power hungry. You need a much brighter backlight to compensate for all that absorbed light. It does have a drawback though. It's got so many green filters and so many polarizing filters. Polarizing filter after polarizing filter. Will there be absolutely 0 gaps? No. So right in the middle of the polarizer, there's always some light leakage, which means the colors end up looking washed out or impure. But remember, way back when we first talked about displays, everyone had this hunch. Hey, inside our displays, there must be... So why don't they just use tiny red, green, and blue RGB LEDs? Like little RGB pixels, right? Why do I not do that? Well, there are some real technical bottlenecks. First and foremost, the for lifetime mismatching between red, green, and blue LED chips. Think about it, if you buy a television, you don't want the colors shifting after just 6 months or a year, right? Exactly. So until they solve the problem of making all 3 colors age-assigned, mass production just isn't feasible. That's bottleneck number 1. And what's bottleneck number 2? Controlling just 1 or 2 RGB LED is super easy, but managing 1,000 of red, green, and blue LEDs all across a display, that's a whole different ballgame. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine right now, you're just using your 5 right hander to do your physics homework. Easy, right? Now, I'm asking the Psi also write your English homework with your Psi left hand while reciting a Chinese literature passage out loud. All at the same time. That's the kind of multitasking we're talking about when driving thousands of RGB LEDs in sync. And then there's this, your feet have to play the drum kit. Can you pull that off? You'll quickly realize how insanely complex it is because you're juggling so now. Things at once, same deal with the chip. It's got to control on. Those RGB LED beads, turning some on, dimming others, lighting up specific zones while keeping others dark. That puts so massive demands on the chip. For years, we simply couldn't build chips powerful enough to pull it off. But recently, I heard a domestic television manufacturer has actually brought this tech to mass production, and they're calling it RGB Mini LED. R stands for red, and the G stands for green. Blue, very good. Mini, small. So Mini LED refers to smaller LEDs specifically. Tiny LEDs used for backlighting. And when we say RGB Mini LED, it means we're using those small LEDs to emit red, green, and blue light directly giving us precise, independent control over both brightness and color. How do LEDs work? So those tiny LED chips, the ones using red, green, and blue RGB primary colors, if they actually exist in this form, they produce much more vivid and accurate colors. And because each primary color is so precise, the range of colors they can mix together becomes way broader. In TVs, we call that a wider color gamut. That's exactly what RGB Mini LED delivers. And it even enables simultaneous control of brightness and color. So what does simultaneous control of brightness and color mean? Well, it is like this. It means the system can precisely control both the brightness and the color at the same time. Yep. Super fine-tuned, you want it bright and red. Done. Soft and bluish, no problem. It's all under tight control. All right, enough talk words can only do so much today. I've actually brought a television with me. So this one is actually from my home. I just happened to buy it during the renovation. But I haven't moved in yet. I brought it over especially for today's side-by-side comparison. Hey, isn't this black even blacker? Why does this one look darker? Because it actually turns the lights off completely. Whereas here, the black, you see, is just light leakage. This is a star that's currently exploding on supernova explosions. Because it directly lights up red, green, and blue LEDs, whereas here, all right, so here, this is the color we get after filtering white light. No comparison, no pain, right? You can clearly see the difference between these two images is huge, right? Well, the reason these two look so different is that they use completely different display technologies. Television has been around since 1925, so it has been exactly 100 years now. Over this century, TVs have evolved dramatically from the old bulky black and white sets your grandparents used to watch, to the big color TVs your parents grew up with, and now to today's smart TVs. In the past 100 years, both the form and technology of television have advanced non-stop.
科技的进步来源于人类对解决问题的不断探索，还有好奇心驱动下的创新思维，再加上实际需求的推动，比如更快的计算、更好的显示效果、更高效的能源利用，这些都会促使科技持续往前发展。有时候一个小小的灵感加上反复试验和合作，也能带来巨大突破。说白了，科技进步就是想的更多，试的更多，然后意外发现，哎，这玩意儿还真行。
Knowledge isn't just about technological progress, it starts with imagination, because imagination fuels creativity. And with creativity, well, you might just be the next person to change the world.